As usual, ladies and gents, the Paul brothers have found themselves in the middle of yet another controversy as a result of Andrew Tate challenging Jake Paul to a fight. At this point, we are unable to say for certain whether or not it'll occur. However, Jake's response to Tate's comments is fairly fun to watch. As we watch this get closer, we know that the world of boxing will be waiting for KSI to return. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at how Jake Paul calls out Andrew Tate. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. There are a number of other events that are occurring concurrently, one of which is a dramatic turn or the possibility of one in Jake Paul's career. In essence, Jake Paul is made fun of because of the way he makes fools out of individuals who are not professional boxers by challenging them to fight inside of a ring. As a result of this, many people have said that he has prolonged his own boxing career. Given that some of the men were experienced fighters, if not boxers, and that Paul engaged in combat with them twice, this assertion is really open to debate. It is not a closely guarded secret that Paul was successful in both of his bouts against Tyron Woodley, even to the point of knocking him out in the second fight. Having said that, we are not in a position to definitively state how skilled Woodley is as a boxer. Even though Woodley was a respectable enough fighter in the UFC, the fact that he switched from MMA to boxing means that he was entering an entirely new arena of combat sports. This indicates that he wasn't really competing at a professional level in the sport. But to be fair, Paul was very new to the sport as well. We can't really consider him a seasoned competitor at this point. Even more so, since we had the opportunity for him to fight Paul earlier and he had failed badly even then. If he was not a boxer the first time around, he still had a fair enough chance to train on his talents and confront Paul on the better footing when the second match came around. Even though he was still training for his own boxing career, he agreed to fight Paul despite the fact that he had readily acknowledged Paul's greater ability in the sport. Of course, he had accepted the fight when it was presented to him in an unexpected manner. The argument against Jake Paul is premised on the fact that he did not enter the ring with professional fighters. Clearly, this was not the case. He had challenged Tommy Fury, a novice boxer who was nonetheless a professional boxer. Additionally, Tommy is the next in line for the Fury throne. His older brother Tyson Fury was really enthused about his younger brother's showdown with Jake Paul. In fact, he spearheaded the social media campaign against Jake Paul prior to the battle. This indicates that Jake posed a relatively grave threat to Tommy. Although Tyson's rage demonstrated his belief in his sibling, he did not actually do it. True to that claim, we're all aware that the two did not engage in their first bout because Tommy Fury had a major injury while practicing under his supervision. Tommy's fractured rib and consequent chest infection made it extremely dangerous for him to take on Jake. Therefore, Tyson's statements that Tommy could defeat Jake despite an injury notwithstanding Tommy's withdrawal were not entirely accurate. Jake was plainly dismayed by the cancellation and desired for the fight to take place. However, after all is said and done, the two are poised to compete again this year. Once again though, there have been a number of problems surrounding the bout, with rumors indicating that Jake may see Tommy withdraw for a second time. Since Tommy is a formidable opponent, it is clear that Jake is eager to fight a professional boxer at this point. And now that this fight may be drawing to an end, there are other opponents who want a piece of Jake Paul. This features Andrew Tate, an American-British professional kickboxer whose colorful personality may be better known than his boxing career. Nevertheless, this was a formidable obstacle for Jake, as Tate is no ordinary amateur. The fact that he's worth over $100 million is indicative of how well he did in his kickboxing career. Therefore, Tate should be a good challenge for Jake, since he recently challenged Jake Paul with great fervor. You'd assume that this is a significant problem for Jake, given that he is not some low-level warrior from a small town. However, Jake's response to their calling them out was interesting. Is this the most ridiculously hilarious thing ever? He quite literally turned to Twitter in order to inquire about Tate. Most people would consider this to be a juvenile insult, but when you examine how quickly and forcefully Tate insulted Jake, it's easy to see how Jake may find the inquiry to be legitimate in the context of a fight. This is bolstered by the fact that there are numerous problems surrounding the manner in which Tate himself has increased his income from kickboxing, but there's still a question about whether or not Jake will take him on. The answer to that question is very definitely not at this time. On the other hand, we're able to form certain hypotheses based on the information that we have gleaned in the past. To begin, it is common knowledge that Jake Paul has never truly concealed himself from anything that had the potential to bring him substantial attention. In fact, he made it a point to always put himself in the spotlight. What could be a more appropriate pairing for him than himself and a contentious kickboxer? Second, Jake has made it clear that he has no intention of retreating from a battle under any circumstances. Therefore, despite the fact that we can't really be certain what Jake's true reply is about how probable a fight between the two of them is, considering how severe Jake's challenge is, we can still conclude that the possibilities of a fight between the two of them are not very low. Jake could essentially substitute a professional boxer with a professional kickboxer and still garner respect for himself in the world of combat sports if this were to become the case, and this would be especially likely to occur if Tommy Fury were to pull out of the fight for a second time. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned!